farmers, and welcome back to Griffin, Indiana, where it is the first day of summer, which means the canola is ready for harvest. As for our barley field right over here that we planted last episode, it's growing, and I did fertilize it with some cow manure because, of course, we got plenty of that. It's doing rather well, but that's not even close to being ready for harvest. And I got this day and the next day to plant corn for the year, so I don't think I'll be swapping the corn over this field this season. I'll have to wait until next year when I can probably do it correctly. So today our job is to, harvest the canola, and we're going to put that into our silo because, well, canola does not sell well until mid-winter. As for the money, we are just shy of $700,000 in the bank account. I did all those fertilizing contracts. Well, Frank did them. I was busy fertilizing the grass field. The grass fields are ready too, by the way. But I was doing the grass fields. We're repairing our header for 344, and the combine, repair that as well for $2,000. All right. Can I get out of here, please? Thank you. Yeah, so I was fertilizing the grass field, and Frank did all the contracts. I think with the contracts, I think it was like $325,000 in contracts, maybe a little bit more than that. I think I ended up, I don't know what the overall benefit was, but we're just shy of $700,000 in the bank account, which means we are very close to being able to buy Field 17. Luckily for me, Field 17 is not ready for harvest yet either, so I can hold off on that another day. As for the cows, I think I checked, it was like 177 cattle we're up to. So, yep, numbers are still going up. That male cow has not perished as of yet. I think he's like at 1,800 and some odd pounds or so. Let's go ahead and unfold the combine. So 177 cattle in the cow barn so far. Everything is going well. Like I said, the grass field is ready for harvest as well, but I still need to get another fertilizing stage down in that field. Usually when things are ready for harvest, you can't fertilize it, but I think it's different for a grass field. I think I can with a grass field. So I hope I can get another stage of fertilizer on that grass field before we harvest it. Won't be today in this in-game day, I don't think. Maybe I should look at the weather forecast. What's the weather forecast looking like? So tomorrow is rainy, so that, yeah, tomorrow is rainy. Sunday looks like it's rain as well. Monday might be a good day. That would be, let's see, 1, 2, 3. That'd be the 4th day of summer. If we look at the wind speed is going to be at 6. Yeah, so that's probably, I think I got to either do it Monday or Tuesday, because I mean, look at the rain for this year. That's a rough forecast to have. Chance of rain 70%, 80%, 60%, 70%. I'm glad I need to get this field done today. So yeah, our main job today, this episode, focus on this field. It's not going to take us too long. I got the Voltra down here ready to rock and roll as well, because we're going to fertilize it first and then plant corn, and then should be able to fertilize again. At least that's the plan. So we'll see how much canola we get off the field this year. This is the first time we've harvested canola off this field, I think. Should be. Yeah, we bought the field with soybeans into it, and then we planted corn last year, and then planted winter canola, which we're now harvesting. Yep, that's the way it's going. So I think now the new plan, it was kind of like plan B anyways, but yeah, we're going to plant corn, and once we harvest the corn this winter, this field will be vacant until early spring, when we go ahead and plant either wheat, barley, what have you, and then next year the corn will be over there. So when we harvest the wheat, barley on the other field, we'll probably go ahead and plant soybean in those fields as well, because we can plant soybeans up until the 4th day of summer. Now the forecast does not look too good, but we can plant in Farming Simulator when it rains. So this is the problem with that field, because you're trying to harvest every little bit. That telephone pole is right there, and then we'll swap the fields beginning of next season. Should be able to do that. Should be fine. But yeah, definitely want to get the corn planted today. That way it can start growing. And remember, we chaff our corn before it's ready for harvest. So even though it's not going to be ready for harvest until like late fall, I think it is, we will actually be chaffing the corn probably like the 3rd or 4th day of fall. And we got plenty of silage, so still haven't touched the second bunker at all. By the way, right next to it, that's field 17, which we'll be purchasing. I don't think it'll be this episode, because like I said, this episode is mainly going to be focused on just getting this field turned over and maybe fertilizing the grass field. Maybe go up there and fertilize that. It didn't take me too long to do it before, so we shouldn't take too long to do that. But there is another barley field we'll be buying, so we can get a whole bunch of straw. And then after we buy that field, I don't think I need to buy a field for a while. So we'll save up the money and hopefully put down, like I said, definitely one warehouse for the bales that we're creating. And possibly 2 bales. And then I need to still buy I don't need to buy a trailer, but I think we're going to go ahead and do so for when we do the chaff, because the trailer we got is a side tipping trailer, and that did not work out too well for me last season. So we'll probably buy the trailer that we leased last year to do that. So not a lot of big expenses. By adding this field to our left, that's definitely going to help out with our straw production. Yeah, I don't want to do any more contracts. It took a while to, even though I have the modded Breedle spreader that uses a little bit less fertilizer and working speed is a lot faster. Still took a while to do all the fields. Yeah, it didn't take me long to fertilize the grass field at all. It took me like maybe, I don't know, less than, I don't know, it felt like it was like 10 minutes. But Frank took a long time to do all these fields. Long time. I think it was like 4 hours in real time. It took me to get all the fields fertilized. Overall, not too bad though. For the money that I needed, fine. I'll take it. And hopefully, like I said, once again, I don't want to be doing any more contracts. I was happy the first time I was done, but I only did it this time just to beef up our bank account so we can go ahead and buy another field, because the straw is the only thing that was questionable. I still got actually plenty of straw. I say plenty, I probably got maybe 18 bales left of straw. But as we get more cows, we're using more bedding and of course more TMR, so definitely needed to up our straw production. I could have done harvesting contracts and took the straw off that, but I'm trying to do it so we're taking the products from our own fields. So I'm trying to do. But we'll have to dig out the planter today and plant corn in this field. Like I said, it's not going to take us too long to swap this field over, I don't think. I think I put lime in this field last season as well, so I think we're okay there. I don't know how much fertilizer corn is going to need, but like I said, we got the vulture right behind us. We're going to set that on a worker. Won't take them long to fertilize this field, and we're just going to... I can direct... I don't need to cultivate the field, I think, with that planter. I think that planter is a direct drill planter. If it's not, then, yeah, it should be, because I don't have a cultivator. So I planted last year with it. Yeah, so it must be a direct drill planter. Oh, the other thing that got me kind of confused as well. So, yeah, last episode we planted our barley in field number 30. Yeah, I think it's field number 30, right over there. That afternoon, I had stage 2 weeds in the field. Not even stage 1. There were some stage 1 weeds. But I looked over and like, there's stage 2 weeds in my field that I planted this morning. What is up with that? Didn't understand it, but you know, it is what it is. We don't have no way to kill weeds at this point. Not that weeds for me are a big problem with the setup I have. You can actually change the percentage of weeds you get in seasons by going to the settings menu. I think by default it's 20%. I don't know. It's been a while. I remember seeing it not episodes ago, but in other series, and I've kind of forgotten about it. I think it's actually in the first series I did, which was season, which would have been Hazard County. I think it was the first series I did with seasons, and I saw the setting where it was at 20%. I'm like, oh, we'll leave it there, and come to find out it's not that much weeds to begin with. So I'm thinking, am I going to get a full combine off this field of canola? Not too sure. So I am kind of hoping. I did check the price of soybeans already before I started recording because it's the first day of summer and got to keep my eye on the soybeans. And right now the price is not too bad. It could be a little bit better. I think we're looking at, I think it was like 1,100 for soybeans today so far. Yeah, 1132. And I think if we look at last year's prices for soybeans, you can see on the third day of summer the price was like at 1270-ish, somewhere around there. So I can get a little bit more for it. Like I said, if I really needed to buy that field today, I don't need that much more cash. I think that field right next to us is going for like 711. And so I would only need like 20 grand more. And I got like 50,000 liters of milk already from then a couple days ago. So I could sell milk. I could sell the soybeans and we'd be fine. Buy the field. Good to go. But what I am going to do, if I don't have the cash yet, if I see that field's ready for harvest, I'm going to go to the contract page, find field 17, accept the contract for harvesting if it's there. And if I got the contract, then the farmer won't do it. And then I can just hold on to that contract for a couple days and then buy the field, and then it's ours. So when we do harvest our barley, it'll probably be the same time as that field. I'll probably plant soybeans in that field along with the field that we already have. And then when we get done harvesting this season, like the soybeans, whatever, we'll swap all the fields around. Hopefully I should be able to. And then these fields over here will be our cereal crop fields, and the field that we planted the barley in the other day will now become our corn / canola field. It may screw up a little bit our crop rotation on seasons for a couple of harvests, but yeah, sure, it is what it is. I'm not going to worry too much about it. I just want to swap it around. It just makes more sense to me the way I want to farm it. Not going to quite get a full combine out of it, but you know what? Money is money. It's going to still be pretty good. I'm hoping we should hit 100,000 liters of canola. Now, I should also mention, because I've been talking about straw today, because that's what the product we seem to be, I don't want to say lacking on it for the cows, but we are on the weak side of it. I know there is a mod out there that allows you to get like straw from canola, and that mod, I think, will allow you to get straw from every crop going except for sunflowers, I do believe. I haven't used it myself, so I'm hoping I'm not mis-talking here about saying that, but I think you can get straw from every crop going except for, as for in-game crop, sunflower. But we're going to go the standard route here. I was hoping to get, this would be my last pass, but I overlapped just a little bit. Talked about this before. I don't know why I installed GPS on a lot of my equipment, because I don't hardly ever use it anymore. I did when it first came out, and definitely used it in 17. I used it a little bit in 19 when it first came out, but at this point I hardly ever use it. The only time I do use GPS is like when you're weeding in a field where the crops are already extremely tall and you can't see where the weeds are. That's about the only time I will use or have used GPS, or fertilizing as well, I would assume, if the crops got too high. Yeah, so when the crops are that tall, you just can't see anything what you're doing. Alright, so I just need about 3,000 liters more in this last strip to get up to 100,000. That'd be kind of nice. And then when I sell it in the winter, we're looking at pretty close to 70 grand worth of canola I just harvested off this field. Alright, just need to finish up this strip, and then we'll get the Voltra and Frank going, spreading some cow manure down. And while he's doing that, we'll be grabbing the Steiger and unhooking the 1870 drill and get the planter out of the shed. Folding up the combine, just going to let it sit there. You know what I should do as well is I should probably... Can I lower that when it's not on? Hey, you can. I didn't. Okay. lower down the header, just take some weight out the hydraulics. There we go. Now it's all just sitting there waiting for the barley to turn. Frank is already fertilizing the field, so we'll see how this goes over. Let's come over to the Steiger and unhitch the hoses and detach that. I don't think I'm going to fix the planter because I've only used it once, so I don't think it's in dire need of any repair at all. But I'm guessing it's going to need some seed. Just a couple days ago, this shed was, I don't want to say full, but everything was pretty much in here. And now everything's just sitting back outside. Alright, and now the hoses. Actually, I got plenty of seed in there, but you know what? Let's go top it off because I don't think I can get the entire field done with a full planter. Let's go ahead and open up the covers. I forgot on these, you gotta wait a second. I've been double tapping the button. There we go. Let's come over to here and refill, or does it have to be the back of the planter? I think it needs to be the back of the planter. It needs to be there. There we go. It's not going to cost us too much in seed. There we go. Not too expensive. Alright, close everything up. Frank probably has not had much time to get any of the field done. Actually, he's doing rather well. So what I'm going to do here while I'm waiting for Frank, I'm going to park this right in the middle of the road because I got traffic turned off. I'll turn that off. I am going to take the Peterbilt and the trailer up to the silo, and we're going to tip this into the silo. And we'll have it there for winter. Yeah, it didn't quite get up to 100,000 liters, but okay. Just shy of 100,000. But it's a good barometer. Well, I should say a good barometer to go by, but I won't be planting canola in that field again because next year it should be over and into that field. I'll try to learn to give myself a little bit more space on this side of the trailer now because it's a side tipper. It looks like it's pouring out a little bit faster than it actually is, but it's all good. Just keep on pouring it in there. And actually, I'm going to leave the truck and trailer right here because I don't need it for anything else. At least, well, not for today anyways. There we go. Turn that off. Now flip back over. Now let's go jump into the Steiger and start planting some corn. Gotta remind myself with these John Deeres, even though you hit the button, it just takes a little while for them to wake up and unfold. So after last year and learning how much silage we can get off this field, I'm not going to try to hug the telephone poles on the side of the field this year when I'm planting. I clipped them a couple times planting last year. Frank is almost done. I do have to keep an eye on Frank because last year he kind of wandered off into that field over there, which is fine because we're going to be buying that field here in a couple of days, whenever that might be. So it's trying to get this roughly lined up to where I need it to be. There we go. All right, should be able to. Are you done unfolding? I think you are. Let's go ahead and lower it and fire it up. I did hook up the hoses to it. Yeah, I did. Okay. Yeah, we are planting corn. I will say this, though, because now the episodes... the seasons are going by a little bit quicker. It feels like I just planted corn not many episodes ago. But here we are again. So by the time I get to this chaffing this corn... the first bunker that we've been working on, that should be cleared of silage. If I haven't used it all, I'll just pick it up and put it in the other bunker. And then this season when I chaff it, I should be able to put all of this corn into one bunker. Should be able to. And I'm thinking that this field is roughly the same size as field number 30, which we planted the barley in. So when I swap fields around, I don't think there's going to be that much of a difference in the yield. So I think we should be fine. But like I said, we got plenty of silage to start with from last year already. So we add what we're going to get here in about 6 days' time, in game days. Yeah, we're going to have tons of silage. I do love this planter because, well, look how, I just said I'm not going to try to clip the telephone pole, and I did. But yeah, we're going to get this field done in no time flat. So it looks like Frank actually stopped where he should this time. And I'm hoping this year when we get a worker for the forage harvester, we had a problem last year with our forage harvester worker. So hopefully this year not much of an issue. I think I just remembered I need to, when I get to the other side, I got to do a headland on the other side because of the ball field. Alright, let's go ahead and turn it back on. It's like 5 passes on this field with this planter and we're done. But like I said, if I remember correctly, we can't quite get the whole field done with the amount of seeds. That's why we had a lot of seeds left over from last season. It's nice being able to also use a planter, not have to cultivate a field before we do so. It's always a positive thing. The other thing I love about this planter is you can actually hear the air running through the hoses for the planter. Got good sound effects. Hoping I can get this done in one more pass, but you know me, I like to overlap just a little bit, so probably not wide enough to get the last row in. And I'm trying to figure out if I got enough corn to finish the whole field. I don't think so. Which is kind of frustrating that you get like 90% done with the field and it's like, I ran out. I have thought about getting like a chaser bin or a feeder seed trailer to bring on out to the field, but since our refill point is just right there so far, I don't see the need to get one yet. And money-wise, yeah, it took a long time to get out of debt from the loan. And we've been out of the loan for a while, but I've been spending it as fast as it's coming in. But with more moo cows on the way every day, that just means we're getting more and more milk, little by little. And that's what the whole dairy farm is supposed to be for, you know, make the money from the cows. Yeah, I'm not going to get... First off, I'm not going to finish the field with the amount of seed I got left. And I got that one little strip there, so I might just overlap a little bit just to make sure I don't leave any spaces. Just like we thought, not enough to finish the field, so I went and topped off the planter, and that cost 1,500 bucks. Well worth it. So I'm just getting the little strip that I missed on the way down. I was coming down this way anyways, so I might as well do it. And that's got a little strip I'll have to do on the way back. And then Frank can go ahead and fertilize the field again if it needs it. We'll check the stats here in a second. I'll get out, walk in the field, and see what the field information tells us. Probably going to be like in the good category, but I like to get it like, well, it's hard to get it perfect, I think. I mean, yeah, you could fertilize it over and over again. I do hope precision farming is kind of in the base game for Farming Simulator 22. I have watched the trailers that they put out for FS22, and I don't know what it is about the game. Maybe because it's the first full game version that I really got into. But I played 13, 15, 17, and 19, and so far my favorite version of the game. I mean, yes, they've added things to make the game better in certain situations, but for some reason, FS15 to me, like I said, if you haven't heard the story before, I started playing Farming Simulator with 13 just about a month before 15 came out because, well, I bought 13 because it was on sale. And I was like, yeah, I'll give it a try. And then when 15 came out, I was like, yeah, I need to buy this game because it's a great game. And so 15 was the first one I guess I really got involved in. And that's when I started learning about mods and everything. But just something about that version of 15 I do like. When 17 came out, it was a whole different like lighting package that they went through. With 19, I actually like 17 better than 19, just my preference. The one thing I do like what they added to 19 is the landscaping. Just waiting for this planter to fold up. It takes a second. So that's the one thing I did like they brought along with 19. I'm just talking about the base game. I'm not talking about mods because, when I was playing 15, mods were kind of, yeah, they were out there, but there weren't many really great ones. And when 17 came out, more people started playing Farming Simulator, I think, and better mods came out. A lot of the things you see in the base game now, and what you're going to see in like FS22, were probably originally mods to begin with. So, you look at FS22, base game's going to have seasons in it. Well, seasons is a mod. A lot of things we can say were mods. I think horses were a mod in 15? I'm trying to remember. It was either 15 or 17. I can't remember. But just like a lot of things you're seeing in the game have been mods before they actually got into the game themselves. Now let's go ahead and park this up somewhere. I'm trying to figure out where to go with it. Because down here by Frank's house, it's getting kind of a cluster. Everything has come out of the shed. Now I'm just piling everything up. Actually, we are done with the corn, the planter. So I might as well go ahead and give it a good wash. And then we'll park it on up. Before I do, though, let me run back over to here and wake Frank up in the Voltra. He's probably fell asleep at the wheel. But we need to see if he needs a fertilizer. I'm pretty sure he does. Let's go over here and see what the field needs. And we'll put Frank on duty if it does need it. And we'll wash the planter and park that up. We come over here. Actually, it says it's quote-unquote bad. It's not... What's the yellow one say? Oh, this still says bad, but it's yellow. But at least you come over here, it's kind of greenish. Yellow and greenish. We're borderline average. Oh, that's right. I don't own this. It's like, oh, he parked in the field. I'm going to get crop destruction. I don't own this field yet. So the good thing about the cows, having as many as we do at this point, they had no problem keeping up with the manure. So free fertilizer. I don't have to keep paying for fertilizer. And filling up that breedle can be expensive. I had to fill it up, I think, 4 times-ish Was it 3 times or 4 times? When I did all the contracts. I was keeping track how much I was earning from the contracts and how much I was actually spending on fertilizer. And, yep, lost track. I realized I can go back into my economy page and see it, but now it's been so many days, that day is in the past. It doesn't show it. Alright, so now that Frank is spreading that, now it says it is perfect. pH level is a little bit low, but that's alright. Alright, let's take a run back over here, and we'll wash off the planter, and we'll park that back in the shed for next season. Wow, the ground temperature is at 68. So, technically I could plant cotton, but the Geo does not. The Geo says no. No cotton in Griffin, Indiana. I think cotton is 64 degrees for ground temperature. Yeah, I did a recording of, well, you probably saw the episode, well, I don't know if you have or haven't, of Wither Farms. Wait, is that out now? Yes, that should be. Recording times sometimes screw you up. But yeah, Wither Farms, I was doing an episode of Wither Farms, and the day before I started doing recording, 2 days in a row on that season's Geo, and the temperature got above 100 degrees 2 days in a row. Talk about yikes. I mean, we're here, we gotta wash off this beautiful beast. This is the Case Steiger 535 50th Anniversary Edition. And you can find that mod on the Giants Mod Hub. The same thing with the John Deere seeder and planters I've been using. That is on the Giants Mod Hub as well. This is the John Deere DB90. Alright, so this is where you can start laughing at me when I start backing up, because this is going to be horrendously backing up. I think anyways. I almost went into my barley field, which would have been a no-no. Like I said before, as long as I go slow, should be fine. As long as the tree doesn't get in my way too much. I want to push this all the way back to the back wall. I want to get it. I'm trying to get it close as I can. I don't know why I'm trying to get close as I can to that bar, because I can't. Because the Steiger has dually wheels on it, so it makes it a little bit difficult to get in there. I think that's good enough. I don't need to push it all the way back, because I don't have that much equipment. Actually, that's probably about as best as I'm going to get it. There we go. That's all set. You know what? I might as well leave this park underneath the roof. That way the sun's not beating out and fading the paint job. If that was a real thing, don't know. So yeah, we'll be using this once again once all the harvest is done. So yeah, next episode we'll probably be harvesting. I don't know. It's going to be kind of difficult with the weather forecast, as we saw. The weather forecast looks kind of crappy. So today is looking good. Can't harvest it today because it's not ready. Then it's going to rain for... it's going to rain Saturday, Sunday. Monday and Tuesday are good. Monday looks like the day I probably want to do the grass. And then Tuesday, if it all works out. So that'll be 1, 2, 3, 4. That's the 4th day of summer. And the 4th day of summer is the last day I can plant the soybeans. So it's going to be kind of close on how this all goes. So I'm going to, basically all I'm going to do the rest of today is going to let Frank finish up fertilizing with cow manure on that field there. Then I'm going to go up and hopefully I can get fertilization on the other grass field. Actually, while I'm thinking about it, let's go to here. And that's the pH level. So that's your lime stage that you want to look at. And this is our fertilizing stage, which field 30 is looking really good. One grass field has 2 stages of cow manure on it. This only has one, so hopefully I can get another one on. And you can see our beautiful field of corn, which we'll be doing silage. And we can't read any other fields. The one thing I'm kind of curious about is when this is going to take effect. Outdated data. I was told it was 4 harvests, and I think I've gone past 4 harvests, and I don't know, the data is still there, so we'll just keep on going on. But that is going to do it for today, guys. Hopefully you guys did enjoy the episode. I do appreciate you watching. As always, I'll catch you again right here in Griffin, Indiana. But until then, have a good one.